Hi, I'm Emily Jacoby, and I believe in nature. When you think of nature, what pops into your mind? Maybe for some of you, you think of a forest or an ocean. For me, it's more of a feeling. When I think of nature, I think of feelings like peace or serenity. Growing up, I didn't have very many friends to turn to with my problems in life, so I turned to the outdoors to help me when I needed to calm down. Whenever I'm feeling like the world around me is against me, I make myself get out of my own head and go outside and do something. What I do outside doesn't really matter, because just being out there helps me to think about my problems without anxiety or worry. One of my favorite places to go is to the beach down the street from my house and figure out what I want to do once I'm there. Sometimes I'll bring my dogs with me and throw the stick for them in the water so they can get wet and swim. But I don't usually do this if I feel like I'd be too stressed out to give them a bath afterwards, because they usually get really gross and sandy. So other times I'll just take a walk down the beach and look for things that I haven't seen before or might want, like a turtle the size of my head, or a really pretty rock to add to my collection, or some weird type of flower. The beach doesn't disappoint when I do this. I found multiple really huge turtles and even some really tiny ones. I've also found really huge frogs. I don't know about you, but watching a couple of giant frogs hop around or even just sitting on the beach and watching the waves come and go is a lot more stress relieving than sitting home in bed. Why stay home in bed when you have the option to go for a walk through the woods and find a little chipmunk? Or listen to the songbirds while you walk? Why stay home when you could go kayaking and let the current carry your stress away? Or find a school of fish? Nature's beauty always helps me to think of something other than myself. So much so that I always try to share things with others, with my photography, or by bringing it home to show my dad. One time I found such a huge frog that I took it home to show my dad and insisted that it was indeed his Father's Day gift. My dad was very surprised that I was able to find such a huge frog in such little time before we were supposed to go visit my grandmother too. He decided to put the frog in our little koi pond in our backyard, and it chose to stay there for the remainder of our year. According to Wolford in her blog, We Are Nature, Drawn into Nature, Annie Goldsworthy, an artist who works with nature, once said, "We often forget we are nature. So when we say we've lost our connection to nature, we've lost our connection to ourselves." Nature always seems to be there for me when I'm feeling sad. There's always something to do, somewhere to go, and something to see that'll help me think of things differently, or think of something other than what I'm stressed out about. I can take a bike ride to feel the wind and look at the nature in front of me, or go lay in the grass and look at the clouds, and it always seems to have the same result. I feel better. I feel confident enough to do the thing I'm dreading, inspired enough to write that essay, and relieved enough to finally breathe. Nature gives me peace when I really need it. It gives me examples of things that aren't quite perfect, but are really extraordinary and beautiful, like the clouds or a flower with just one different colored petal. Seeing things like this help me think of things other than myself, and it helps me think better of myself and to realize that I should stop trying to be perfect or what others want me to be, and to just be my imperfect self. Nature helps me with my stress that I might have in my life. Watching a leaf flow downstream helps me to realize that I need to take my time in life and I don't need to be perfect. And that's why I believe in nature.